Editors, welcome back. I'm Javi.
And I'm Ben.
And we're just a couple of guys going through our normal everyday lives and making some edits along the way.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Like a week.
What?
Yeah, all right. A week. Just a week.
No, it's been 3, right?
I'm glad you finally changed clothes.
Yeah, you too, man. You're starting to stink.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. If you guys didn't catch that, that was a 4-parter?
Yeah.
It was like a 4-parter. And we did that all in one recording. We just got in our groove, and we couldn't stop because we thought that we were.
Because Javi's a chatterbox.
Oh yeah,
What?
definitely. Yeah. You get me started. You get me started. Forget about it.
Non-stop.
So yeah, we did that all one night, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And speaking of our imperfections,
as some of the faithful followers know, way to just throw me under the bus.
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
you said you wanted to talk
I
about
did,
it, so.
but that was behind the scenes.
Sorry.
Okay. No, I apologize to all of our faithful followers that were upset with it not coming out on Tuesday. It did technically. No, I don't think
I think it came out like
I think
Wednesday
it came like
at 1
Wednesday,
a.m.
yeah, 1 or 2 in the morning. But it was a lot, which we'll get into some of the things of why I wasn't able to upload on time, but imperfections. We're trying. In fact,
we still make them.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it's been a good 3 weeks.
Throwing that out there. It's been a great week. 3 weeks.
Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff.
A lot.
Yeah. You've been gone.
Dude, world traveler.
Yeah, well,
like East Coast traveler.
East Coast traveler, but basically, our world traveler. Yeah.
It's been good. You've been busy too. You've had a lot going on.
Yeah, very busy, very busy.
But
so
it's good though.
It's good.
It keeps us out of trouble. Keeps you out of trouble. I tell you, this guy's always in trouble.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
Puts me in trouble, actually, probably. So
I get you in trouble.
Nah,
I do.
I get myself in trouble.
I'm the world's worst boss.
I know when he comes in and he stands at the corner.
Every single time I come in your class, you'd be saying, "Look what you did now, kids. Now I'm in trouble."
Yeah,
sounds just like that too. He goes into his weird voice.
I do. It works every time.
Rather strange. It does work. Yeah, I just awkwardly back out of the classroom.
It does.
Ooh. I don't think I've ever gotten you in trouble, have I? Well, like, I had to talk to you seriously.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because you do great job.
Well, thank you, and so do you.
Spectacular. Yeah.
So do you.
I don't know.
We try our best. Speaking of
jobs, doing our best.
One of the reasons why it was so busy for me the last few weeks is, thankfully, in hindsight, it's a good thing that we recorded all those videos.
It actually did work out very well.
Because if we would have not done that, forget about one video late.
In fact, we're barely getting this one in.
Yeah, that's.
But it's for you guys.
Yeah, it's true. That's how busy you've been.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it's a good thing that we recorded early because we would have probably not even been able to get a video if we didn't do that. So thankfully we did that.
Well, tell us why you've been so busy.
Science fair.
Yeah.
So
science department head.
That's me.
Big dog.
Well, I guess.
Within the science.
I get to tell myself what to do. That's about it.
You're your own boss.
Well,
I make the rules
in my department. But every year we do a science fair where the students have to do like a presentation. You guys grew up doing science fair. You know what it's all about. But
did they?
I guess.
Maybe their peers.
Comments in the bottom.
How many of your peers did your science fair for you?
All of it. Everybody.
For sure.
At least
see that with all your students.
At least. Well, not now. But
Like
when
do
they were
the
younger.
Project. You know what I mean?
I would say most of my students.
Younger, like what age? Middle school.
Like maybe 6th grade, maybe 7th grade.
How is it at open house at the beginning of the year and you talk about science fair? Do you bring it up in the open house when all the parents are there?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought it was you, that some science teacher was like, the parents came up, okay, what are we doing? No, I mean, what is my child doing for the science fair?
I don't remember that conversation. I don't think it was me. I mean, I've only been the science department head for 2 years. It's my second year, so it probably was somebody else.
You're rocking it.
I mean,
you are doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. I have a lot of improvements left to do, but it comes with inexperience. It's only my second year.
Part of growing.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. And so we got to decide. I think most of them now do it, especially high school.
Yeah.
I think by that time the parents get tired of doing it for them. Middle school, I think they probably split it. The kids do some, parents do some, and then obviously elementary if they do science fair.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
All the
Yeah.
parents.
But, now in our school, okay, before, and this is probably what you did growing up, you had to do the poster board and stick it on.
Yeah. That's what
that-
I had to do.
Yeah, that's what I had to do too.
Yeah.
And at that time, I would say that there was probably more parents doing it because they had to type it out, they had to print it, cut it.
That the kids couldn't do.
Yeah, I think that it was a little easier for the parents to do more. But now what we do is we do a PowerPoint. We don't do that anymore. So it's almost like they're actual scientists trying to present to other people. That's like kind of our goal, kind of to make it like real life.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so we do PowerPoints, which, I mean, parents could still do it for them, but
True.
but it's probably less likely parents are going to sit in front of a computer to do it for their kids.
True.
So I do the science fair, and it's a lot of work because it's two-parter for me. I got to do like judging.
Mm-hmm.
So all the students present to their teacher, and then that teacher, there's 3 of us in the science department this year, and then each teacher picks the students from each class that they want to then send to the science fair. And this year we had about 55 students participating in the science fair.
That's really good.
Yeah, it was actually more than last year.
Yeah.
I didn't think that. I thought we were going to be less, but it was actually more.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. But
did it put more work on you?
Not
With that
really.
many students?
Not really. It's always good to have a good number. You don't want to have too much because it takes too long, but you don't have too little because then it looks bad. Why don't you have kids in the science fair?
Yeah.
So I think it's a solid number. I would say we would probably want to stay somewhere around 50 students participating because there's a total of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Good thing you're not a
It's
math
about
teacher.
seven classes.
Yeah.
A little bit more depending on, because sometimes they're different sciences for like 12th grade.
In middle school.
Yeah.
Right, because you have you could have two
for 8th grade
school.
and 2 for like 11th and 12th.
Yeah.
So it depends, but it's about 7, 8, 9 science classes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we want to say somewhere around 5 to 10 per class. So 50 is pretty good. 50 is pretty good.
It's a good number.
But the reason why it's so hard, the first step I feel like is harder because what I like to do is I like to bring in people who have graduated from Westwood or people that I know are involved in scientific communities, either science teachers or in the medical field.
You're going to do a shout out?
I could do. There's
ready
a lot
for
of
the
shout outs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want, I'll do the shout outs. So I had 13 judges come in, and this is what makes it hard because I don't like our staff to do the judges because there's a little bias there. You get to know the kids, and you see which ones did put in effort and all that stuff. So not that our teachers are biased, but there's always a little bit of
there can always be that.
Yeah. So I like to bring people in that are outside of the school, don't know the kids at all, and if they do know the kids, it's just in passing or something like that. So they come in, and I set up this whole schedule, and they were here actually on a Thursday, and I had people show up pretty much from 8 to like about around 12 o'clock. I think a little later than that.
During the school day.
During the school day.
Yeah.
So these are people that take out of their own time to be part of our science fair. And these people are professionals. They're nurses. They're in medical school or about to get into medical school. They're pharmacists or pharmacy school. I have 2 PhD people that come in.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's always surprising when the kid surprises the kids when they know that I have somebody.
They have PhDs.
I got friends in high places, man.
They're shocked, like, whoa.
What is? Yeah, they always get super nervous for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matthew and his wife, Kayleen. Yeah, they actually volunteer. They always reach out to me.
That's cool.
So that's the great
cool.
one, because
Yeah.
they're obviously high level scientists, but they always want to be involved, which is really
That's
cool.
good.
Everybody else I kind of call and have to beg. Please. Nah, that's not true. They do want to help me. They want to help me. And
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody. I had Sebastian, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Josie. I had my wife Alyssa, my cousin Moises.
Yep.
My cousin's wife, Chelsea. A good friend of mine, we went to school together, Camila.
Mm-hmm.
Another good friend of mine, Javier, also has my name. Jonas, another friend of mine. Josiah, he's in nursing school. Kevin, pre-med student. Jonathan. And I think that's everybody. I stopped counting. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. Yeah. That's everybody.
Nice.
I didn't miss anybody out. And
nice.
Actually, special shout outs to Sebastian because we had and that's something. Actually, that's something that we could talk about. I totally forgot. My family, we had a family emergency.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
My sister was supposed to cover like a longer period of time because she's my sister, and she's awesome. And I was like, "Hey, I need your help. Can you do this for me?" And she took the bullet for me. But then we had a family emergency, so she could only be at the school for a part of the day. And I called one of my good friends, Sebastian. So special shout outs to Sebastian.
Nice.
I was like, I need somebody to come in, and I called him the day before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Short notice.
he came. So special shout outs to him. He was
Big shout out.
everybody was a huge help, but that he really came in clutch.
That's
for
awesome.
Me, so that's the hardest part because I gotta coordinate all those people.
That's a lot of work.
It is.
That's a lot
And
of work.
not just that, I gotta get all the students because I don't teach all the science students
In the rooms.
in the rooms. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
A little drama with that.
A little drama. I was a little perturbed, but I understood. I vented to him a little bit, but
I breathed.
we
talked through it.
Thankfully, it wasn't.
It
a big
worked
deal.
out.
It wasn't even a big deal.
No.
It wasn't, but it could have been. But it
could
wasn't.
have been.
So, it's a lot of coordination because I don't teach all the students in the science fair. I teach about 3 classes, and there's more than that. So all the other students, their teachers email me who they select, and then I got to make this whole list, and then I got to make the whole schedule. Even though the schedule is not followed like verbatim, but it helps kind of coordinate what's going on.
Yeah,
and then I got to get that info to the teachers. Hopefully with enough time. It didn't happen this year. But
no one ever is happy.
Yeah, but it's okay.
They'll complain about something.
It's okay. I mean, I don't think anybody complained, thankfully.
No, I don't.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. So,
I didn't hear anything.
I mean, if somebody would complain, I would
No
have
news
heard.
is good news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, it went well.
And actually, all the teachers were helpful. So that's the hardest part because I got to coordinate all these moving parts and find out when they can be there because like these people are working, these people are in class, and it's like when can you do it? It's like I can only do from this time to this time. I can only do so. I got to figure out.
So it's a big puzzle piece.
Exactly, which
It's a big puzzle.
I'm pretty good at it.
You like puzzles?
And
yeah, you do.
I kind of do like real life puzzles. I can't sit down and do a puzzle, but like thinking through, trying to solve an answer or a good answer. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So it's hard. It's a lot of work, but
it is.
After that. Then I have the actual science fair because those are judging, and they are the ones who pick first, second, and third. After that, I have the real judging, which is the following week. And
that's the night one, right?
Yeah, it's the night one where all the parents and students come in, and I have to set all the rooms up. But that's not as hard because it kind of runs itself. But it's always a little nerve-wracking to stand in front of, like 100 people. I don't think there was 100 people, but there was probably 80-something people, almost close to 100.
That's good.
And
that's good.
Be in front of them and leading everything and making sure you don't sound stupid while you're talking and make sure you sound professional. Yeah. But it was good. Everybody seemed to enjoy the night, and it went super fast. I added an extra room this year. We were done at 8:15.
Wow.
Yeah, and we could have been done probably even faster.
What? You started at 7, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Normally
it would go close to 9, right?
Yeah, but not anymore. Because
hobbies in charge.
I added an extra room.
That made the difference.
It made a big difference. Yeah, and we actually waited on the middle schoolers because since I added the extra room, I didn't have as many high school presentations, which normally take longer in the same room. So it went by faster, and I was really happy about that.
That's
actually.
Cool.
So
that's cool.
we might have, if we would have pushed it, we probably could have been done by 8:00.
No,
that would have been.
That'd
awesome.
be incredible.
That'd be
do it in
awesome.
an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
We might be. We almost did it in an hour.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot to do.
Yeah. But we had a big middle school group this year. And you know what? All the judges that came in were super impressed with the middle schoolers.
Really?
So, yeah, they did a really good job.
That's awesome.
So, everyone who judged middle school, they were like, man, they use really nice words and their PowerPoints are good. And it's they were impressed.
Wow.
So, that's why they went a little longer because they did a real good job. So, that's not normal. Normally, the middle schoolers
they run to it.
Yeah. So we're always waiting for high school, but no, this year it was good.
That's good.
So then we had the night.
I miss it though.
For the last 2 years, there's been no administration.
That's true. We dip. We're peace out.
That's one of the things that my big boss told me that we got to figure out. So
he told you this year?
Yeah, he told me we got to figure out something where I can actually be there. That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, we have the dates. The reason why is because we go to an administrative conference,
which is part
up in Orlando. So we go suffer up there.
Yeah, and you get to miss the amazing night.
Exactly. So I haven't been here when you ran it because you've only run it these past 2 years.
Thankfully, so I get to say it was amazing. Nobody knows.
You have no idea. It could have gone to pot.
The first time administration watched, like, this is what you've been doing.
This is great. This is what you call good work.
Yeah, no, that's
we're gonna have to talk.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I thought it went well, but yeah.
Good.
So he told me, like, we got to figure something out. Maybe we'll change the date. I think we could push it back a little bit and still be fine.
Yeah,
we got to see with the dates and stuff. Maybe
it's just always been this time, just because, right?
I don't know what the reasoning was before.
But you're the department head.
Yeah, well,
make the difference.
Yeah, I can change it.
You could.
We can do after. We can do the week after missions conference. I don't know what normally happens then, but that might not necessarily be a bad one.
Which that's coming up, missions conference.
Oh, that's true.
Coming up this week. So we may talk about that next time.
Yeah,
but we got a lot to talk about now.
Yeah, and we've just made it through science fair, but it was really crazy for me. It was probably it's the most stressful time for me because
of the whole school year. Would you say?
Of the whole school year, there are two major things that are stressful for me. One was before we started the podcast, we already did it. It's in the fall. It's called
Spaghetti Supper.
Spaghetti Supper.
Yep.
And I run this whole booth, and it's super hard work.
But how much planning do you have to do ahead of that night?
It can be a lot. It can be a lot, depending on which projects I choose to display. It can be a lot of work. This year, I chose specifically to go lighter on me because I have a new kid and all that stuff. So it was too hard for me to go like all out. But yeah, it can be really hard. So that is super hard. And then the science fair, that's the other thing that's really difficult. Like I fall behind on everything else when I'm doing science fair.
Now you're breezing.
Now I'm just normal everyday teaching responsibilities, which is back to normal.
True.
And that was science fair. So what about you? You've been out.
Well, yeah. So I was out for the admin conference, but before that, I was actually in Savannah, Georgia. Have you ever been in Savannah?
No. I mean, I've driven through, but I've never actually done anything.
You should go. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't get invited.
Whoa, about that. So this goes back to like October of last year. Our juniors went up to Savannah on like what they call the junior journey, a little trip. First year doing it, they decided to go up to Savannah, and the sponsors that were on the trip, a husband and wife, and they love Savannah. They always go, right? And then the other sponsor, who's one of the junior sponsors, our friend, right?
He's a senior sponsor.
Senior sponsor. Yeah. But he's a senior sponsor, but he went because he's a history teacher.
Correct.
So they wanted to make it like educational.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he went as a shop, and so he calls me up one day, and I'm like, "Hey, is everything okay? Like, what's wrong?" Because it was in the middle of the day. He's like,
while they're on the trip.
Yeah. While they're on the trip.
That's because he's admin, so that's a scary call.
Like, no, what just happened?
Yeah.
But our boss, the head of school, was up there, so I'm like, okay, it can't be like super serious, but it did kind of scare me a little bit.
That's true.
So he's like,
I didn't think about that.
He's like, "Hey man, are you busy?" I'm like, "Depends." Tell me what's up. So he's like, "Hey, we were talking about that day that we have for President's Day, which was just last week."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, for President's Day, we got that Friday before off." He's like, "What would you think about doing a trip up to Savannah with this couple?" So I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun." He's like, "Yeah, we were looking at Airbnbs," and he's like, "The food would be great. Like, it'd be a lot of fun. Just us four go up." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we booked it, had it all planned out, and then he gets sick. He got sick like the week before. I think I gave it to him. Did you?
I think it was me.
You caused him to miss out on the trip. Does that make you feel guilty?
No. Because it wasn't my fault. I wasn't that sick.
I probably gave it to you, right?
We had a game night that we wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't want to be the only one.
That's another thing we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
The game night. But
I think I might have given it to you guys then, or maybe given it to them.
I didn't get sick. Yeah. So I think it may have been what I had over Christmas break, which I may have caught from here. Like, it may just be going around.
Yeah.
But it was sad that he didn't get to go. But it was a lot of fun. We drove up, but our boys won their first regional game, which allowed them to play that night. Yes. So it started at 7. I had to do the clock because this guy bailed.
I did not
bail.
bail.
Javi, I need you. He's like, I don't feel comfortable doing it.
I don't. That's not.
But you had something else.
I had something else. I mean,
I had a prior commitment.
I still would have not wanted to do it
Yeah.
Because that would have been so much pressure. I've only done middle school games before. To like go run the regional
And they still
game.
yell at you. But middle school's pretty intense. You got Tom Brady watching you. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had Tom Brady watching you? No.
He wasn't at the regional game. I don't know why not.
I'm so glad I had a prior commitment because I would have totally said
It wasn't that bad.
no. I'm not running a regional varsity basketball
Yeah.
game when all I've ever done is
Just a normal
try.
game.
No,
It wasn't crazy.
I know
It wasn't
they
crazy.
blew him out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
So
But-
the reason why you mentioned that is because you couldn't leave.
Yeah, couldn't leave until we were done, which I think it ended like 8:30, between 8:30 and 9. And it's a 6-hour drive up there, like 6.5. So we get up there at like 4:30 in the morning. And we had a tour booked later on that day, so we slept until like 10, and then we go have breakfast on the water. Savannah's beautiful. One is amazing food. We didn't eat at the same place twice, and all the food was amazing. The history there, which I'm a history dork, I get it, but I loved it. I loved the Revolutionary War history because they were 13th colony, and the Civil War history, Sherman's March to the Sea. So a lot there.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did a graveyard tour in the middle of the night. That was
Spooky.
Yeah, it wasn't like built around ghosts, but we just go from grave to grave, like talking about their past. It was really cool.
I'm not a super mega history buff, but my wife's got family in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
And up there, Delaware River. That's where
Mhm.
where George Washington crossed
Right.
to fight off
New Jersey.
the
Hessians.
German, right?
Yeah,
Or,
yeah,
right,
the
it wasn't
Hessians.
the
They're
Hessians.
German. They're
Yeah,
German.
and that was cool.
You went there?
Yeah,
And like,
this is the part where he crossed.
oh, that's cool
So
because
I
that's
would
that
love-
famous painting of him like standing in the middle of the boat.
Yes, I would love to then go to Savannah and see that because even though you're not a history buff, it is cool
Oh,
to
yeah.
like see, all
All the
the
history.
crazy stuff
Yeah.
that's happened in the past.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like even one statue in the middle of the square. Like the way Savannah's built is they just have these squares like all around, and one of the squares is Oglethorpe, which is the guy who founded Georgia, and they have him facing south, which the rest of the city's to the north. So it's like, why is he facing south? Like, why is he facing away from like downtown area?
Mhm.
And they say it's because they set him there to guard against the Spanish.
Oh wow.
Because the Spanish are down here in Florida, or we're down
that
here in
time,
Florida,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool how they laid out the city.
cool.
It was very pretty. So we were there Thursday night, came back Monday, then worked Tuesday. I worked about half the day Wednesday, came home packed, and then drove up to Orlando for the admin conference on Wednesday. Well, the conference was Thursday, Friday.
the work trip.
Yeah, the work trip. But it was good.
I mean, if you're stuck doing something you don't want to be doing,
It's just
It's
the
work.
meetings, yeah.
Yeah.
And although the speaker was really good, he's the biblical worldview guy at Bob Jones University. But that's like his job is to focus on biblical worldview within the curriculum.
oh okay.
So he talked a lot about that and then different other things. So it was really good.
Did you
But
learn
sadly,
anything?
I did. Like I learned like how to focus on like biblical curriculum, like and then build that into leadership. So I was encouraged by it, but I was a little sad because one of my favorite speakers was not there. Dr. Gibbs. I don't know if you
I'm
know Dr.
horrible with
Gibbs.
names.
So he spoke a couple of years ago at one of the graduations, but he's the founder of CLA, Christian Law Association, which helps like Christian schools or churches if they get sued. He does it for free. He's a really good speaker. So he'll normally give like an update of all the laws, what we should look out for, and then he gives a devotional. So sadly he wasn't there.
You
But the
couldn't
guy who
make
gave
it?
the devotional,
You couldn't
he
make
got
it?
sick. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he got sick right before. So, but Dr. Shoemaker,
Oh.
the president of PCC,
Oh, your alma
he was
mater.
there, and so I,
Go
of course, had to go up to him and be like,
Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, caw-caw, caw-caw.
"That's exactly what I did."
Yeah.
I flew over. No. Could you imagine,
That would've
dude?
been awesome
But the
if you could fly
speaker,
over.
it was so funny because the speaker was talking a lot about like the generational stuff, and he kept bashing the millennials. Like, bro, I was sitting almost right in front of him.
It's not.
It
It's
was-
not like
it was
almost every single teacher now that's coming in.
Yeah,
is
it's-
a
well, that's what he was
millennial or
talking
an old
about.
person.
That's what he was talking about. He was talking about your staff, not just the kids, but like working with millennials.
And he was bashing them?
Great, yeah.
What? I think millennials do a great job.
I think so. I think we knock it out of the park.
I'm a great.
But I think we're kind of rare for our generation.
You think so? I don't know. I guess this is maybe leading a little bit of a serious talk. I think millennials get a bad rap for no reason. Yeah. I don't think.
I was actually talking to my mom about this over the break. Shout out to my mom. Got to shout out my mom.
Wait, we didn't even count how many.
I think they're doing like 20 push-ups right now. Yeah. They're probably still doing the push-ups. They're not even listening to us. Don't stop. Do your push-ups, all right? Every single time. We do them off camera, right? Yeah, totally. Well, we work out.
Yeah.
When we work out.
Oh.
No, we've been consistent.
We've been consistent for at least the last few months.
Later on. But, yeah, my mom and I were talking about how there's goods and bads to the millennials or even the generations, you know?
Every generation.
Yeah, because their generation is basically like you stay at your job, whether or not you like it or not. Like you bear through, you don't speak up, like you just push through.
Yeah.
Because it's your duty, right?
Sorry, I think that's dumb.
Yeah, but the millennials are like, if I'm going to get treated like this, I'm out.
Yeah. If
I'm not going to get the pay I want, I'm out. If I'm not going to get the work I desire, I'm out. Yeah. Which has goods and bads to it, but it puts more on the employer to be like, oh, I have to actually do work to keep these people.
I feel like we have to keep our employers accountable. Like you can't just grunt your teeth and move on, especially if they're always mistreating you. There's no sight of improvement. Like,
but there's a give and take as well with it.
Yeah, there's a give and take.
But I think...
But they got to give and take too, you know? If it's just me giving and taking, then that's toxic.
But I think what the status quo is, which I think is changing with millennials, but I think what the status quo was is you just do it.
Yeah.
You know, you bear through it.
And that's no longer the case.
And you don't speak up.
For sure, that's no longer... Especially as millennials have entered in. Like, that's why people only work at jobs for like 2 or 3 years and move on, because they're not getting what they think they deserve, and then they move on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is sad that, sadly, a lot of employers don't appreciate the employees they have currently.
Yeah.
Instead of just, paying them what they deserve, like they'll pay someone new more just to get the person in.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just listening. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of the employees feel like they can't even be heard.
Yeah.
Or they're too scared to speak up, to be retaliated against or something like that.
And that's horrible.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Good thing. It's nice that our employer is definitely nice.
They are.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to say, I think it's kind of ridiculous, the whole generations thing.
What do you mean?
I think
ridiculous?
That's maybe a unpopular opinion, but I feel like the generations thing is like a fancy way of doing horoscopes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Whenever he was talking about so much about it, I thought, is he really... Like, how much do you or should you invest in these studies? I thought about like personality traits too. Mm-hmm. There's the 16 personality test, which I think is cool, and I think there is something to that about knowing yourself. But it's like you don't fall into those categories.
Yeah, it's like it's like horoscopy.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like what your generation is exposed to.
Horoscopy. I like that.
Yeah. What your generation is exposed to definitely has an impact on you.
Yeah.
But to like group up a entire group of people of 10, 20 years and then say this is what they are. That's ridiculous. Exactly. It's horoscope. It's like you're born in November. Oh, you're a Scorpio or whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
You acted this certain way. It's
because
like,
you were born in November. It's like what?
I mean, exactly. But even the way they count up the generations is weird, because the elementary principal was next to me. She's like, yeah, I'm technically a millennial too. I'm like, what?
Exactly.
Because I think it went from like 84 to 90, or from 80 to 94 or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's
weird.
a little... I think it's like 96 or 97 or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I'm 10...
At least the one she looked up said 94.
I think I'm a millennial. I don't know. Whichever one I don't
I
care.
think you are.
It's so
it's whatever you want it to be. Whichever one you want to join.
But it's like, how are you going to call me the same as someone who was born in the late 80s?
Yeah.
Because if the end of the millennials was like 96...
Dude, you don't even know the songs they sing.
I was a year old.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm definitely... I just think it's a little ridiculous.
It's horoscopy.
It's horoscopy. But yeah. What are we talking about?
Well, pushing through work. Like the mindsets,
I did want to talk about that. Yeah. So like,
which kind of goes into the different mindsets of the generations, if you want to call them like that.
So we both have had quite a busy last few weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even mention the reason why we were doing it tonight, which we just barely got in, was because of another trip I'm going on. I'm going up to Pensacola. Trying to get some teachers. Exactly. So I was here. We didn't have school Monday. I was here Tuesday, here part of Wednesday, and then gone Thursday, Friday. Came back Friday. I was here all day today, and then I fly out tomorrow. And then I'm gone Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I told one of my classes, I'm like, I'll see you next week. Because I taught him Wednesday, but I won't see him again until this coming Wednesday.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, being gone as a teacher,
so much work.
It's way worse than being at school.
It's double because you got to do the prep, and then you have to do the comeback.
Yeah, the catching up when you come back.
Catching up,
and especially for you, like how you've been gone so long, that is so horrible. Like if you miss a day, whatever, you could get by, like put a video on, make them take notes, whatever. But when you're gone for like basically 2 weeks,
covering content,
yeah. And you fall behind. The quarter's about to end. You got to get all your grades.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
It's a lot.
So
it's a lot of work.
Let's finish up this video and talking about how do you manage like your everything, your life, having a good time, your enjoyment when work does get so crazy. Because that is hard.
Yeah,
the harder work gets.
I'm not sure. I'm not the one to ask because I don't think I do a good job at it.
You don't think you do a good job at what?
At managing it.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm too too easy to procrastinate. So I wait till the very end, and then it just overloads me. You know what I mean? I still need to pack. Still need to write all my lessons.
But who actually packs?
I don't. Like I pack always the day before because in my mind I'm like I got to do the laundry. I'm gonna wear these clothes.
Yeah.
So
who actually packs like a week?
That's
in
what
advance?
I've been doing all day.
That's not I don't do that.
Do people actually put in the comments if you do?
If you are a
and then we'll roast
packer,
you. What?
Huh?
Yeah. If you're a week ahead, we won't roast them though. No, it's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
You're here with us.
But put us down for
let us know if you actually do pack a week in advance because I'm curious. Like you're really not gonna wear those clothes for a whole week?
I definitely can't.
I cannot
because I'm gonna pack my favorite clothes.
Exactly. You wanna look good. You wanna feel good. Yeah. So you're gonna pack your best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't think you're very good at it?
I don't think so. Maybe that's an imperfection of mine.
Maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Go back and watch the imperfections. But because I'm trying this year to leave work like at work.
Yeah.
And I think I've done okay at it. I don't know if I'm falling behind on my work stuff, but that's what I'm really trying to focus on is to make that split. But when it gets busy, you have to make that sacrifice, I think.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. I think that when work gets really hard, you do the best way to manage it is to sacrifice in another area.
Yeah.
You can't do it all. Yeah. And sometimes you just have to sacrifice in another area. And that's what I saw with me. And thankfully my wife has experience as being a teacher because she was a teacher. So she knows that there are times throughout the year that it just gets really crazy, especially at our school. But science fair for me is a time where it's the hardest work I have all year, basically. Yeah. And I even have to tell my students, hey, look, I know I'm normally pretty much on top of my grading and all that stuff, but you just need to be patient because I got all this stuff I got to do for that. So if I fall a little bit behind, just be patient. But, when the science fair is coming up, I tell my wife, hey, science fair is coming up. I'm going to have to be spending some late nights, stuff like that. So I apologize beforehand. So I think one of the ways to help mitigate going through more busy times at work is being upfront and honest with your spouse and having a good relationship with your spouse and saying, so like if before it gets hard in general, you do a good job of investing into your family and all that stuff. When it does it's going to get busy, you can pre-warn them and like that you can set up their expectations. And, since you've already done the work beforehand, your spouse will be more lenient. It will be more forgiving because you do what you need to do on the regular basis, and now you need to work a little bit harder. Yeah. And that helps because I never felt like I always feel bad because I feel like I need to go home and help her out with Asher and like I want to be home.
Right. But
sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and my wife is amazing because she was at the science fair actually helping me.
Oh, nice.
So
Awesome.
know, and that goes to show it's like when you give, they give. And
Yeah.
sometimes it has to be that give and take. But
Yeah.
I would say be honest, and work hard.
Yeah.
Try not to procrastinate, but I'm pretty bad procrastinator as well. But
And I think with that honesty is you being honest with yourself. It's like, okay, it's going to be busy. I'm going to have to make those sacrifices. I think that's where it starts first is you have to first realize, like, in order to bear through this, like, I need to focus in and make those sacrifices. And then it's communicating with those others.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned,
And the other thing, which is what I struggle with, is being willing to get help.
That's actually one thing that they mentioned in the conference, that it was a devotional. And it was talking about Moses. And whenever he was judging the people, you're thinking, like, millions of people, right? And
Helicopters coming through is distracting me.
They stopped.
Yeah.
There's a spotlight outside.
No, I didn't.
What'd you do, bro?
Don't tell him anything.
Remember that one time that yeah, you were here. Okay, side story. Do we have time?
Yeah, we got time.
All right. Remember that time the school locked down? Was that this school year?
Yeah, no,
of
that
the
was a
helicopter?
long time ago.
No, it wasn't that
Which
long
one are you
ago.
talking about? The one where I called you?
With the helicopter, the two helicopters outside because it was right across the street.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the one where I was scared.
No. That's a good one.
The
though.
one you're talking about is serious.
Yeah,
That was last year.
That's what every time a helicopter goes by, that's what I think of.
That was last year.
That's what I think of. Okay. Well, that one was there was shots fired across the street from our campus, and this was right as school was kind of ending. So all the kids had gone to aftercare already, but it was like 3:30, I think, and
like 30 minutes out, around 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes after school. A majority of the students had left, but not all of them. And a lot of times the kids will play on the playground or stay after. But yeah, that was kind of scary. We have a walkie-talkie as admin, so I hear my boss tell one of another admin. He's like, "Can you meet me out by the softball field?" Was the first one. So I'm like, I kind of wanted to know, but in my job, I'm like, I don't want to know because then I'll have to do something about it. So I thought, okay, like, don't worry about it. But I kind of passed by that way as I was going to another classroom, and I looked, and I didn't see them. And then I hear them again come over, and the other guy said, "Hey, look across the field." And so then it was like 5 seconds later. They get on the walkie, and he says, "Everybody with walkie, you need to get everybody inside the building right now." And that's all he said, and that's all I knew. So I think that at that time I came to your classroom, and I was just walking around. I said, "You need to keep these kids in here." And I forget.
No, there was nobody in my room.
No? Oh, no. That was our history teacher friend, because he had kids in his room, and I said, "You need to keep these kids in here." And I said, "Turn your walkie on." So then I go around, and I yell at the people outside, "Get in," and I think I went specifically to your room and told you.
And
but we had no idea. We didn't know if there was somebody on campus.
Yeah,
like that's all we knew.
It was very scary.
Yeah.
And we had to move around, and then the parents were really nervous.
Yeah,
I remember having to because there were parents asking, my car's right there, can I go and leave?
Yeah, because we kept going back and forth. Yeah. At first, it was kind of cool because as I was walking outside clearing people in, it's like me, the elementary principal, and the head of school, all just kind of ran into each other. And we're like, okay, what's the game plan? This is what's going on. We see all the police cars across the street. There were 2 police helicopters circling. They said they've heard mixed reports from some of the police parents that we have. So they said, what are we going to do? And they said, we had told the preschool up front to let cars go. Or no, to hold people in, don't let anyone go. And so they said, go up there, and as long as we walk them to the car, they can go. So there were mixed reports,
but there
the whole time.
Police officers there too. The police officers were around, right?
On our campus or over there?
On our campus.
There were parents that were police officers. I think 1 or 2.
Yeah, and they...
Oh, and the basketball coaches. So they were getting some reports.
Yeah, and we knew that there wasn't an actual assailant.
Right, like an active shooter.
Eventually, by that time, when we made the decision to let them go, we knew that there was an actual assailant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I remember it was scary because, they would ask, can we go? and like I would have to walk a parent
Yeah.
to the car. And this is where it gets crazy. That day was the day that my son was born. And I was supposed to leave.
Oh, that's right.
I was supposed to leave.
That's right.
And I got
forgot
stuck
that.
in the school for like another 2 or 3 hours. And I was supposed to already be home. I was finalizing sub plans. That's why I was still in my room.
Yeah.
Because I was going to be gone. I didn't know how long I was going to be gone for. So I was finalizing sub plans. And I was like, I had to call my wife. I was like, I'm stuck at the school because we're in lockdown. And I had to be at school for super long. But praise the Lord.
Yep.
Like, it was scarier than it really was.
Yeah, it was. Which it was kind of a good practice run for us. It was like a serious, but yet, if you can call it a practice run, because there was no threat to us here.
There really wasn't. But we didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we handled it well.
That's why we can talk about it now, because like it really wasn't a threat.
Right.
It was us being extra careful. But because they were right across the street, we did have to be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was behind our school. Like, it wasn't like...
it was across the street from our property, which between us and that is like a field, and then our football field, and then like several buildings. Yeah. So it was kind of distant, but we saw, and we made the decisions,
which was
the information that we knew. Yeah,
which was the right
which we heard a lot of positive feedback from the parents, because we sent out, the alert and contacted and communicated. So, but that was interesting.
That was really scary. I was like, the day my son is going to be born, I'm going to be dead. I'm going to turn a corner and I'm going to get shot.
This is the day I die.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what are the chances of this happening? And look, I guess that goes back to that goes back to the conversation, like having that good relationship with your spouse when you're putting the effort. Like, my wife was understanding. Like, obviously, there's nothing I could have done. Like, I could have left.
True.
Some of our staff left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some were already gone just because of the time, but some of
them didn't stay. Some of them left. And it was like, I could have left. I didn't have to be there, but I felt like I had to be to help you guys, and you asked me personally to help you. So I was like, well, got to now.
Like, I'll be sacrificed for me.
But yeah, I don't even know. I don't even think it crossed your mind that I was going to the hospital.
No. At that point, no, because I was just thinking, what is going on? Like, what's happening?
Immediately,
all I was thinking is, I got to get people in.
Immediately,
like, that's all I
as
thought.
you asked me, I was like, I have to go to the hospital. Like, what do I do? Like,
but you never said that.
No, of course not.
Said, okay.
I decided on my own. Yeah, I decided to stay. I didn't say that, but immediately in my mind, I was like, I'm supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Like, I have to leave. But I think I didn't go right away to help out. I think I finished my planning. I had to, because I had to get that done.
Yeah, because I don't think I made it. I don't think I like demanded it.
No.
I'm like, Javi, this is. I forget what I said, but I said like, hey,
you
I
were
need
urgent.
help.
You were urgent.
Yeah.
Or maybe I came back the next day to finish planning. I don't know. I may have.
I think you went right away.
I think I might have actually. Yeah. Now I think about
because
it.
I came in super serious, and I'm like, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah. But it was cool to see us work together as a staff and handle that, even though it really wasn't. It wasn't an emergency, but it's better to be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
But yeah, so if work does get really hard, having a good relationship, like putting in the effort beforehand, right? If you're always having a hard time at work, then maybe you should switch jobs, millennial, or maybe you have to reset your priorities.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you are putting too much effort at work, which is then having a hindrance at home, with your spouse and with your family. And that's important. You do have to have a good work-life balance. And that's something that I preach all the time. Because if not, you burn out. If you do is work, the most rewarding things in life are not work.
Yeah.
It's spending time with your family, spending time with your kids, and seeing them hit their milestones. Because
it's prioritizing,
like something super silly. Today was my nephew's birthday. Roman. We had a Nintendo.
Oh, bring it out.
I actually got a little hat here.
He dressed up. I died whenever I saw that.
It was
put it on.
themed.
Put it on. You look just like it.
It's a me.
Do.
Like, I don't know if I can say that. It's a me, hobby. I don't know if I can say the other one. But it was Mario themed. And the reason why this matches up pretty perfectly what we're talking about. The reason why I bring it up is because we were setting everything up, and my nephew tells his dad and his mom, he's like, I love my parties. I love my parties. And to see the eyes from my brother and his wife, my sister. They're just so enthralled with joy when they hear their son say, "I love my partner." All it was is like balance house. They go all out. They really do love their kids, and they go all out for them. But it's nothing like crazy, you know. It's nothing that's unattainable, and something that anybody could do. Mm-hmm. And he's just so happy about it, and they light up. I remember last year. Were you there? The one for last year, the Sonic themed one.
I think so.
I think you were there. I'm pretty sure I remember you being there. But it was Sonic themed one, and everybody's watching Roman freak out for Sonic when Sonic shows up.
Oh yeah.
But I'm watching my brother.
Yeah.
And my brother's eyes are like open and glossy and just taking the whole moment in, and he's just appreciating it. And now that I'm a father, I get it. It's like those moments, how crazy small we think they are, those fill us with joy and excitement. Like, I don't know about you, but whenever I'm clicking grades into my thing, I'm not like, I'm so full of joy and happiness.
I love grading.
You know? I hate it. So, you know, maybe we have to reestablish our priorities.
Yeah.
So like that, when work does get hard, you've already put in that effort with your family and with your spouse to show them, hey, you are my priority. There's God and then you. Yeah. And then when work does get hard and you ask them to sacrifice, you can then sacrifice a little bit of their time to do the time to add that time over. Yeah. Because something does need to be sacrificed. But if you're always sacrificing your family, then when push comes to shove, you know, are you going to have a family to show it? You know?
Right. That's good. Yeah. That's good. And for me, I'll just finish with this, and it's what you were talking about in communication, communication, and being willing to ask for help. Being willing to admit I can't do this on my own, because then you get overwhelmed as well. So that's a big one for me, because and again, going back to that devotional, it's like Moses, he wanted to take matters into his own hands so many times, right? He hits the rock, you know, he wants to try and do things on his own. With the judging the people, he judged basically the whole entire nation.
I know
of
what
Israel.
you're talking about.
You know
yes, and then his father-in-law tells him.
His father-in-law says,
you can't do all this on your own.
You need to delegate.
Yes, exactly. I know what you're talking about. Shred.
Exactly. How's that going, by the way?
I'm behind.
But you're still shredding.
I'm kind of
shredding.
I'm behind.
But yeah, it's that was a good point for me. It's like, don't be overwhelmed. Ask for help. And I remember going back all the way to 6th grade. I remember a computer class, and I didn't know how to do some setting on the computer. I was so determined to do it on my own. And I remember my teacher, like, kind of being somewhat stern with me. He says, "Ben, like, ask someone for help." I'm like, no. Internally, I'm like, no, I want to do it myself. But the girl next to me, she's like, "Yeah, I can help you." And he's like, "Ask for help." But I just didn't want to, you know. And somewhat, I kind of feel that burden upon myself that I need to do it, but it's like, no.
Yeah. It's when you have friends and you have family that's there to help, just share the burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I hope this helps. I mean, we definitely wanted to do a follow-up because we've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of the intent of this episode was all about. So I hope you enjoyed listening to our stories and the things that we've done in the last few weeks. As we close, we definitely wanted to hear your feedback on the length. So we're kind of playing with our length. We're trying to stay somewhere within 30 to an hour. So really, we want to try to stay closer to 45. If you like the longer videos, let us know. If you like the shorter 30-minute videos, let us know. Also, really important, if you like the parters, right? We really enjoyed breaking it into parts, because sometimes it takes a long time to get through a deep conversation.
Yeah.
So if you like us taking this whole long conversation and breaking down into our parts, let us know. We want your feedback. We want to know if you're enjoying what we're doing. We're playing along with it. We're trying to improve. We're trying to do the best that we can. So, well, you know,
and we do this for you guys, and we want to hear your feedback, and even some of the comments that maybe you want us to talk about.
Yes.
Some of the topics, because we want it to be more than just us, you know, and that's why we're thinking about bringing others on and adding guests, you know, because we're getting serious now. Yeah. But we do want to have those serious talks, and like you said, a lot of times it goes longer, but we want to hear from you guys, and with the length and those topics. So join in. Join us as we edit.
Yeah. So, so like, comment, subscribe, and as always,
let's edit.
Yeah. Join in as we edit. So, like, subscribe, and as always,
and comment.
As
always, I destroyed that. Imperfection.
Okay, I have a blooper.
Yeah.